Hello, welcome to our course on how to give a good presentation, academic presentation in particular, but I think everything that you will learn is equally applicable in a professional context, in your job role, if you have to present something to your team, to your board members in the future. It is basically a very similar story, and I hope that you can take a couple of learnings from this for right now, for your project presentations at the university, but also into your future life. So, what is it about? Why are you here? Here in the sense of watching that video, trying to learn something. I think you might be invited, you might be pushed a little bit to watch the video and maybe also to participate in the workshops that we will offer. But I think it's a very good opportunity for you to learn, to prepare, and to actually focus your attention and your efforts into what's really important, so that you save time and efforts from the things that are not so important for a presentation. Now, who am I and why am I here? As I said, Jürgen Ramel, I'm a part-time teacher at the program of the School of Computing and Data Science for many years already. I have been sitting through a number of project presentations. I've supervised a lot of groups, and I've seen that very often, despite all the efforts, despite all the work that went into preparing such a presentation, the outcome was actually not very good. So my intention, and of all of the supervisors, is to actually help you to understand some of the important parts that you can do to prepare well for the presentation, and to think it through first before you dive into the work and prepare all the slides and make your speaking notes and everything. Step back first, think it through for the whole process, and prepare it in a way that effort and outcome are in a much better relation. Yeah? So that's a win for you. You save time, you come out with a better result. And that's a win for us supervisors, myself and all my colleagues, because we actually enjoy wonderful presentations that are to the point, that tell us something that you want to share, and everyone is better off afterwards. Yeah? So that's the motivation behind it. Now let's dive into it just to find out what we are after here. What's the objective of an academic presentation? Think about it for a second. What is it that you want to share? And I give you a multiple choice question to answer this. And that's the only multiple choice you will ever see from me. I'm not a very big fan of multiple choice, actually not at all. But giving some answers here. Is it an opportunity for you as a team to report on what you did during the project? Why was it so difficult? What were the blockers? What made it so complex and so much work for you to go through? Or do you want to justify the time that you spend on some sub-items? Because maybe your supervisor said, you have to be faster, this and that is not ready yet, how do you want to get to the finish line? So you declare, you justify why it was all so complicated. Or individually, you want to showcase your personal contribution in the moments when you share about slides, when you share about your work, and you want to demonstrate that you did all the work, that you are the brain behind the project, and actually some other person in your team was more like a free rider, didn't do much and so on. And the presentation is the moment where you can show that you are the one and the others are not so good in your team. And you also can do that by option D, overshadowing everyone. You talk a lot, you talk the most, you broaden the scope that you are delivering. You hope that you individually get recognized for your work, and all above and beyond the overall team effort. Yeah? Or, as in multiple choice, very often, option E, all of the above. That's your chance as a team and as an individual to showcase yourself. Is that true? Is that what you want to get out of it? Now, before we answer, let's step back and think about what is actually the objective of academic research. Why are we doing scientific work? Why are we researching particular scenarios deeper? Why all of this? If you're working academically, you're actually working on something that is new, that gives a new perspective on something that is relevant for more than yourself. It's not just something that bugs you particularly and you want to find a solution. It is something that is of broader interest. And hopefully your work, your findings, your contribution to this interesting piece actually makes a difference. It helps yourself, your team, all of us, to understand a matter better or to see the new perspective to it. You might find a new solution to a problem, or you find a solution to something that has been investigated in a similar way, but time has passed, technology has changed, and it's worth sort of redoing some work under new circumstances. That's equally fine, especially for a project work in an MSc program. In principle, the aim of academic work is to add some knowledge to the body of knowledge that mankind has, to advance this knowing about the world and add a piece of knowledge that was not there before. But that's sort of the content part. The other part that is equally important is you are not doing that project for the university. You are not doing that for your supervisors. You're doing that for yourself, to develop your own critical thinking, to develop yourself as a professional person. You spend time, you give effort, you dig deep into a subject, and then you work out how to share this with your environment, how to share the results, how to present the outcome in the best possible way so that with sort of the least effort you get the maximum of result, of knowledge sharing, and of course a bit of recognition for yourself. So if we now go back to the question of what's the objective of an academic presentation, then there's actually none of the parts of that multiple choice question. It is, and that's the major takeaway, to tell the audience something new, something they didn't know before. What is the contribution of your project work to the knowledge that we have about this matter? And secondly, it is to present yourself as that qualified person or the qualified team of people who was coming up with that particular solution, with that particular system, with that app, with that research that you have been doing and put into a report, into an app, into a very complicated Excel sheet that calculates all sorts of things. Whatever the outcome is, this is what you have created as hardworking professional people on this. So with that, there's also some sort of professional obligation in the way how you present. And that's why we are here, and that's what I want to share in the upcoming videos.